It's about being unprepared. It's about a journey that's unplanned but exciting. A journey that caught me out in many respects, but which was rewarding and gave a real sense of achievement. It helps you get a little bit of focus and a bit of distance and put things into perspective. This book is a little bit more serious. It's working to a more serious goal. There was a little bit more of an idea of where I was going to end up this time, and a little bit of an idea of the overall route that I was going to take. For me, it's important to sort of capture the freedom and the unprepared nature of doing a journey like this. For me, I quite like to convey the fact that anyone can do this sort of thing. But I hope that there's still an element of humour in it, and people will find certain sections of it entertaining, at least. My original plan was to try and do a journey that incorporated a good run through Scandinavia and across to Moscow as an end goal. I hope to schedule that for around a 2-month journey, but I wasn't quite able to get my anticipated sabbatical from work, so I had to squeeze it all into 3 rather frantic weeks. The journey originally, as I say, was intended to take in a great deal of Scandinavia, but I just didn't have the time to do that, so I went up to Norway, explored the west coast of Norway for a while, and then rode across Finland to St. Petersburg and then down to Moscow as the kind of culmination, the end goal of the trip. The journey back was a good run up through out of Russia and through Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and some countries that I'd never really anticipated going to, but were really quite interesting and exciting to be there. I rode a Kawasaki Ninja, an old A1P 2002 bike, which I thought would be reasonable for the journey, if not ideal, but in keeping with the spirit of the journey, I really didn't want to do it on something like a GS 1200 or a KTM. I thought it was quite important to prove that anyone can go off and do a journey like this on any bike, and that turned out not necessarily to be true, particularly when I got to Russia and the roads caught me out quite a lot. But that said, the bike did cope with the whole journey. I was expecting to have to replace the suspension and probably my spine after a while, but we both managed to get back in one piece, and it coped admirably at the end. It began as just a good subtitle for the first book, and then my brother-in-law Sam, who's a graphic artist, designer, came up with the little Hapless Biker character, which we really liked, and I felt that it was sort of spot on. It really captured the sort of inept nature of my approach to travel, and so it was something it seemed silly not to capitalise on that great image, so we used it when developing the website, and then once the website was there, the whole thing sort of just carried on along those lines. So we had the little image, we had the name, and it seemed to make sense then to incorporate it into the title of the second book as well. So almost by accident, the sort of brand emerged, if you like, and then it was Sam's idea again to sort of have some stickers made up and stick them on a few signs en route around this journey. So maybe I could trace my way back if I got lost, or other people might be able to spot the stickers if they happen to be going that way as well. probably the two standout memories I think were, first was Norway, which I'd wanted to see, but I hadn't really expected it to be quite as stunning as it was, and it really took me by surprise. I was blown away by how beautiful the whole country was, particularly sort of seeing the fjords, and it really knocked my socks off. It was lovely. If there was a sort of one moment, it was probably once I'd got to Moscow, which had been an absolutely horrific sort of day, and I arrived there late at night and sort of dumped my stuff in a hostel and came out onto the sort of almost back streets of Moscow and sort of 12:30 in the morning, and just wandering around Moscow and seeing it at night like that was I felt like I'd made it then. I'd sort of reached the end goal. So, where next? I think the next adventure is going to be perhaps more family orientated. I can't elaborate more on that at the moment. So it might be a couple of years until myself and the Kawasaki find ourselves lost on a different continent, but hopefully there will be another big adventure like this. Hopefully there'll be another book along those lines. And I'd quite like to do a journey which quite a few other motorcyclists have discussed with me about, going across sort of Turkey and down to Greece and across to Eastern Europe that way. I think it would be quite fascinating, and hopefully drier than Norway.